It's something that I support, to include leaving the plan, the teeter plan, as Allison proposed a little bit ago. I mean, we're going to have to move some of this. All I was trying to do is, on this out-of-county and the memberships, is to eke out a little bit of a contingency fund, which is lacking in this proposal here. But, you know, we can talk all week about the different things and the budget strategies to move forward, but I support what's basically shows on this sheet here. This shows the strategies, which is increase. Those are set amounts. The only change would be the $185,466 from the solid waste budget. The rest is just adjustments. And then, like I say, maybe we could eke out of the out-of-county travel and membership a small amount for a small contingency.
Thank you. Ms. Glassy?
We'd like kind of a changing of the guard here, so I'm going to close out mine, and Jennifer's going to put the spreadsheet up as you get into your specific deliberations. So to kind of recap the decisions around items that you would like to possibly spend funding on, there is decision-making around the teeter repayment level, and that's something that you can refer to your handout anyway, of the status of it for 2008-9 and where you would value increasing the general fund payment towards teeter in amongst the other items that you're looking at. So that's one. The other is managing overtime and extra help, and that takes two forms. One is knowing that that is an area of kind of, I'll say, a great deal of pressure in departments, in particular the sheriff's office, and whether or not there's any relief for that and or how you manage to that. The other, or the water project study that has been referred to, that is not currently in the budget, and there is not currently a contingency fund. All of the other items you dealt with last time doesn't mean you can undeal them, but those are the kind of outstanding issues that you have brought up that you had wanted to look at. And then kind of balancing that on the other side in terms of revenues, you have the general fund augmentation strategy related to the landfill closure fund. You have the possibility of increasing franchise fees, although that's a future item. There is the issue of mandatory time off or layoffs and the alternative that could be looked at, and those are the strategies so far. And then you add to that any other specific cuts that a supervisor might identify. So that's the balance you're in right now. But with the actions you've done to date, this is where you are, and Jennifer will take it from here. Thank you.
Thank you, Allison. Ms. Wyatt?
Before we start going into the spreadsheet, I just wanted to go over quickly and briefly the handouts that you were given as part of your packet. You were given another hard copy of the worksheet, which basically, with the exception of a few housekeeping adjustments, and on the very front page has an additional line item added to it, but with no dollar amount. This spreadsheet reflects where we left off on Tuesday at the last budget deliberations. You were also given an updated fund balance carryover from our Auditor Controller's office. You were given a new revenue projection sheet that states on the top Budget Unit 1000 revenue analysis. And what you weren't given was a sheet that you were handed out today, which basically has the last and final 2008-09 final budget closeout funds available for board action. And this is what I want to draw your attention to today. If we flip over to the tab that has closeout numbers on it, this is where we started, and if you can, as you can see, the balance available for board action taken from August 26, 2008 was 28,243 deficit, or basically shortfall here to balance the budget. This takes into account all of the actions that the board had taken up through Tuesday. It has all the external requests included that you took action on, and I'm going to flip back over to the final budget worksheet just to show you. It has the $10,000, just to reiterate, that you approved for the Farm Advisors budget, as well as $25,000 that was taken out of the budget, out of the Information Services budget unit for the Questies program, and also an additional increase in funding for EMS providers for $54,000. Those are the main actions that you took, as well as the external requests. That's where we arrived at our 28,000 deficit balance or shortfall in the budget to balance. So going back over here to this spreadsheet, this basically details where we went from here. The 28,243 is where we left on Tuesday. The auditor's updated worksheet reflects additional $112,000 in revenue, which we have here. This is not, by the way, meant for recommendations. These are just some outstanding issues that we're looking at. There were funds available for transfer as we know them, and since then have gotten a council opinion on this subject matter. And this is open for discussion of $185,466 in actual available revenue that could possibly be transferred out of the landfill